All right. So today we will be talking about Harry Potter and Greek mythology and their common themes, their common relationships. And today our main topic is whether bad guys and antagonists deserve a chance. It's all about second chances because if you've read some books, you may know sometimes the bad guy just does not get spared. Maybe they get killed off. Maybe they get exiled by a protagonist. Sometimes they get a second chance. Sometimes they use that second chance and maybe they become good. But of course, everything is different in every different story. So today we will be looking at some examples from modern day culture and an example from Greek mythology. Of course, our main thing is still Harry Potter. We will be going into two examples, the most Harry Potter and Greek mythology. The other ones will just be like some popular modern culture, like writing novels, movies, and such. All right, let's begin with Harry Potter because I'm assuming that all of you guys have read Harry Potter. We all know who this guy is, right?
Yep,
You- Yep, who is he?
the traitor rat.
And what's his name?
Yeah,
What's his name though?
it's Peter Pettigrew, one of the former four Marauders, the most
Yes.
wimpish Gryffindor to ever exist.
You know a lot. So if so, could you guys tell me what he did that made him an antagonist, a bad guy? Why is he a bad guy? What did he do? Do you guys
Bad
remember?
things he did.
Okay, okay, I'm just gonna
The
turn on
fox.
yeah, I don't okay. Can you like change your name
Huh?
to something I can read? Because I can't really read what your name says.
Yeah, should I use my actual name or should
Yeah,
I
you should. Of course you should, because I can't call on you if you have a name like that.
he?
All right, go on and tell us what Peter Pettigrew, what Wormtail did that made him a bad guy.
Asking. Hold on. I'm just
So okay, then I'll share my opinion
Give some
first.
hint.
Yep.
wait. He betrayed the former Marauders, gave way to Voldemort, and let
Yep.
him return.
Yep, those are some. All right. So to summarize, Wormtail basically betrayed the good side. He went to the bad side and helped the bad side, the big bad guy, revive. Those were mostly his key feats that and his achievements. Not good achievements, of course, but they're still achievements, right? He did a lot of bad stuff, but they were also like very important things and plot lines. And the reason we have him here is because most of his plot lines relate to our topic today about chances. And his plot, because I'll be sharing some examples afterwards, and you will soon realize that he does not have any other plot other than like stuff about second chances. Not much major plot, of course. So let's look at Peter Pettigrew. So Peter Pettigrew, also known as Wormtail, I'll just probably refer to him as Peter or Wormtail. That's not what he did. So first of all, he used to be a good friend of James Potter, Harry's father, but then he betrayed them and went over to Voldemort, ending in Harry and Lily Potter's death, and also how orphaning Harry. He hid away as a rat for like many years. You see here, and the bottom two pictures were him in his teenage years. He actually didn't look that bad, but many, like I think it was like 13 years or 12 years of being a rat made him a bit more, way more like a rat than a human. So after he came back, he ran away after Harry spared his life, and he found Voldemort, and then he helped Voldemort come back to power. So those were his
This
major
is just
feats, right?
saying, bad guys. If you let them, if they take advantage of you, if you give them what they need, then well, it's not gonna end well.
Hmm. Right. So let's talk about how Pure Pegu relates to second chances. In the third movie or the third book, whichever one, but because we will be watching a tiny clip from the third movie, he is discovered. That's when he actually makes an entrance, and that's where most of Harry's heritage and his father are revealed, right? So Pure Pegu is revealed in the third book, and Originally, he was caught by Sirius and Lupin, who wanted to kill him, and Pierre, of course, begged for them to spare him. Of course, they didn't want to because you know how his traitorship ended in James' death. That's why they wanted to kill him. However, Harry told them to spare him, and that was because Harry said how that was not what his father would have wanted. Of course, that was probably a bad decision in hindsight because later on, Wormtail was like a key element in Voldemort's rebirth. So afterwards, after he spared Wormtail from death, he told him that he would just be going to prison or like the Dementors. But at least he wouldn't be killing him, right? That's sort of a second chance at life. But of course, he may have, if he didn't get away, he may have just been put to prison forever. But at least he would have been alive. So that's, I guess, Harry spared Wormtail once. That was a second chance for him.
然后呢？但是他后来他是怎么样？他是最后不是也是被自己的那个银手杀死了吗？为什么
Yes.
会出现那种情况呢？
Of course, let's go to the fourth book, right? The third book is when he got spared and he ran away. The fourth book towards the end in Voldemort's rebirth, Voldemort gave him a silver hand in replacement of the hand he sacrificed to revive him. And later on in the seventh book, he is about to strangle Harry or kill him. I don't remember, but he was about to kill Harry. Harry reminded him that he had saved his life from, Sirius and Lupin, how they were about to kill him. And Wormtail, knowing this, he hesitated because it's not that easy to kill someone who saved your life. But because he hesitated, the enchanted hand that Voldemort gave him turned on him and he strangled himself because Voldemort sensed disloyalty. But even though it's not like, maybe if he didn't have that hand, he would have still killed Harry. Maybe he would have just hesitated a bit. But that tiny hesitation turned into disloyalness to Voldemort, so he just killed him. So I guess since Harry saved him, he sort of spared Harry back, sort of. Like he did it because Voldemort made him. But basically, Harry gave him a second chance, and then he wasn't able to kill Harry. It's sort of like that. So that was like Peter's story, right? He first does some bad things and then goes into hiding. When he is found and about to be killed, our main character gives him a second chance. And he just runs away. He does some more bad things. And then in the end, because he was reminded that he was given a second chance, he is unable to kill the person who gave him that second chance. So instead, he is forced by his master to kill himself. Right? That's the main plot lines of Wormtail. And that's why I said most of his plot lines just revolve around second chances, because that's like his whole plot line, his whole story, right? Harry gave him a second chance, and that sort of affected his life and death. Yes, that is Wormtail, right? He died then because he wasn't able to kill Harry.
如果是我的话，我就不会原谅他，因为正是他导致了伏地魔的那个复活。
Of course, Harry did not forgive him. Harry just spared him of death. He said in the original book, he said that he would just give him to Azkaban, maybe to like the Dementors, who would suck his soul out. But he still didn't want him to die.
那我问问大家吧，看看大家是不是愿意给
Of course.
Peter 一个机会。
So first, we're gonna watch this small video. Of course, I'm not gonna show you the whole video. That's just because we don't really care what he did to Snape and stuff. We'll just go through like the interrogation and stuff like that. But watch, and then afterwards we will have like a discussion about what you would have done.
Remus? Sirius? My old friend! Harry, look at you. You look so much like your father, like James. We were the best of friends.
How dare you speak to Harry? How dare you talk about James in front of me? You sold James and Lily to Voldemort, didn't you?
I didn't mean to. Stop, Lord. You've no idea the weapons he possesses. I'm so serious. What would you have done? What would you have done?
I would have died! I would have died rather than betray my friends!
Harry, James wouldn't have wanted me killed. Your dad would have spared me. He was showing me mercy.
You should have realized, Peter, that if Voldemort didn't kill you, then we would. Together. No! Harry, this man...
I know what he is, but we'll take him to the castle.
Bless you, boy. Bless you.
Get off! I said we take you to the castle. After that, the Dementors can have you.
Severus.
All right, now that we've seen like basically his like interrogation thing, if you were Harry at that place at that time, what would you have done? Would you have spared him? Would you have let Sirius and Remus kill him? What would you have done? Or would you just like forgive him and like let him go?
No.
Like no, as in you won't kill him, or you will, or you
I
would.
would kill him.
Okay.
If you won't give him a chance, please raise your hands.
Yeah. Raise your hand if you would give him a chance.
If not,
If you would give him a chance, raise your hand. Right. Okay. I
no
don't.
one.
I don't think anybody's gonna give him a chance. Okay. Raise your hand if you don't want to give him a chance. Oh. Okay. I see one. I see two. Okay. I see two. So wait. What about I see?
Three.
No. Like that's like four, right?
One.
Yeah, but like there's like a bunch of people who raised their hand, who didn't raise their hand, and those that okay, guys, everyone put your hands down, put your hands down. I get what you got. So basically everybody would not give him a chance, right? So why would that be? Then what would you do then? Would you straight up kill him? What would you do? Because Harry didn't really give him a chance either. He just said that he wouldn't kill him, right? He forbade them from killing him.
He's a traitor.
Yeah, but
I would just let Remus and I would just let Remus and Sirius just kill him.
but actually that is also what Harry should have done, because they didn't and he got away. All right. Okay. So we move on, or
Yes, let's move on next.
all right. So now we're gonna leave the topic of Harry Potter because we finished talking about Wormtail. Maybe we'll go back to it later on when we find some similarities and some differences. But now let's go on to the next next example, which is The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. And this is why we placed that clip in the beginning of Diary of Wimpy Kid. Of course, Wimpy Cat has nothing to do with all of this, but Wizard of Oz does. So, wait, how many of you guys have seen, maybe like watched the Wizard of Oz movie, read the book? How much of you guys know the plot? Because if everybody knows that, I'm just not going to explain the plot. Okay, I don't think anybody has seen it then. So basically what happened is this is okay. So this is like the friend group, the hero group, the Dorothy, the Lion, the Scarecrow, Tin Man, and
His
dog.
puppy.
Dog. I forgot the dog name, but it's just dog, it's fine. So their antagonist is a witch. Yes, the witch sent these winged monkeys to capture them and bring them to her because Dorothy, when she arrived in this magical place, accidentally squashed her sister or maybe her friend, this other witch, and took her shoes, which like out of context that makes Dorothy look like the villain. Like she kills this witch and then takes her shoes because they look pretty, but that witch was also evil, so it's okay. So this other witch,
Magic shoes.
yeah. These shoes are
Self-defense has no sentence.
yeah. This other witch that wants to that wants Dorothy's magic shoes. So she sends these flying monkeys, winged monkeys, to capture them, and they did, and also like rip the scarecrow apart and like did a bunch of major damage. Of course, this is a children's book, so no actual killing except for the bad guys. So the scarecrow's okay. But
The monkey is so rude.
yeah, the monkeys were. But later on, after they vanquished the witch, they found out that the monkeys were actually under control, under the witch's evil control. Like they didn't want to do all of that. They were just under the witch's control, right? So I guess we could say this is like a second chance because well, first of all, Dorothy's not killing anything. Like she's not gonna kill the monkeys because this is like a children's book. So, but she did forgive the monkeys because they were technically controlled, right? They were technically controlled. Like you're not gonna get mad at somebody if they are in mind control and they attack you, right? That's just not how things work. But however, they did work for the witch and did a bunch of unnecessary stuff like tear the scarecrow to pieces. And yeah, so of course Dorothy forgave them, but what would you guys do?
然后解放了他们，让他
Yeah,
们
also
成为
freed
自
them.
由的猴子。
Of course, later on, the monkeys also helped Dorothy return, as you can see in the right picture. So, let's watch a small clip of the witch and the monkeys, and then you guys can decide and we can talk about whether you would have forgiven the monkeys or not.
You'll believe in more than that before I'm finished with you. Take your army to the haunted forest and bring me that girl and her dog. Do what you like with the others, but I want her alive and unharmed. They'll give you no trouble, I promise you that. I've sent a little insect on ahead to take the fight out of them. Take special care of those ruby zippers. I want those most of all. Now fly! Fly!
They tore my legs off and they threw them over there. Then they took my chest out and they threw it over there.
Well, that's you all over. They sure knocked the stuffings out of you, didn't they?
Don't stand there talking. Put me together. We've got to find Dorothy.
Now, let's see.
All right, so now you've seen the winged monkeys. Of course, they didn't. You know how the witch, her command was to bring back the girl, take care of her slippers and the dog. And the monkeys did that. But of course, they did a lot of unnecessary things too, like completely destroy the scarecrow. So if you were Dorothy, would you forgive them for that? Or would you at least like get some revenge on them? Like not a ton, maybe.
Well, they work for the witch free will and were controlled to work for the witch. So I think I let them go, but kill the witch. Because if the witch is dead, there's nobody for them to work for. So they'll be fine.
Yeah, that's what happened in the story. Yeah, that's what happened in the story. The witch got splashed with water and then melted, and then the monkeys were free. But you saw how like they completely tore apart the scarecrow. Would you like let that slide? Because that's not very friendly of them.
Well, you see, did they tear apart the scarecrow while they were under the control of the witch?
they weren't technically under the control, like because they were just getting orders. It wasn't like a psychological thing, but like, but they still did. So
Then
do
I
you?
then I then I would then I would I would not kill them, but I would make their life a living nightmare by booby trapping them, torturing them, doing that kind of stuff instead of
Oh,
killing them so I can see their agony. I would do that
okay,
instead.
okay. That went very dark real quick. All right, wait a second. Okay, so let's move on to the next topic. So now we've looked at the wonderful Wizard of Oz. As you could see by like the quality and also the sort of theme, the sort of style of the film, it's a bit old. But now let's look at a newer one, a movie that just came out this summer. Have you guys seen Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning?
No.
Okay, that's okay then. But it's a new movie on the Mission Impossible series.
In this July.
Yeah, this July, this summer. So the main character, played by Tom Cruise, is Ethan, right? So in this movie, there's like this what's it called? Assassin, sort of. Yeah, her name's Paris, this woman here. She's like an assassin that works for this other guy that's like the antagonist. She was like a minor antagonist, and they had like a small fight in an alleyway. It was like a very narrow alleyway, and Ethan won, and he was about to kill her by bashing her on top of the head with a metal pipe, but instead he lets her go, and instead like she's like sitting down here, and then he uses metal stick and like does that.
I didn't hear any of that.
Okay, well basically he spared her life, right? Spared her life. And afterwards, of course, the bad guy, her boss, then tries to kill her because he knows that she'll eventually betray him because Ethan saved her life. And there that does happen. Like in this scene, if you look on the right
这个
here.
故事好像 Voldemort 和那个虫尾巴的故事啊。
Yeah, I'm getting there. And later on, when Ethan is in danger, she helps him, and they get to safety. And like she said, it's very similar, but not. It's of course it's not identical, but very similar. Like how Ethan, the main character, saves this minor antagonist, and then the minor antagonist saves just like the major antagonist, like their boss, like Voldemort to Wormtail, this the bad guy in Mission Impossible named Gabriel to Paris. They kill her or try to kill them, and because of that, they end up saving the main character, right? It's very similar, but of course, it's still a bit lacking because there's still some differences, but of course, it's very similar. Paris is still alive though, so that's a big difference. Wormtail is dead. Right. So in Mission Impossible, Ethan gave Paris a second chance, which proved out to be good because Paris later saved Ethan while they were falling in the train. Right. If we look back on some other second chances, for example, Wormtail's second chance was not good because Wormtail, well, it wasn't very good in the long term, but because he, revived Voldemort and all of that, but he did spare Harry, so I guess it was a good choice. But of course, if Harry did not spare Wormtail, none of this would have happened. So I'd say it would probably be a bad decision, but I guess that's what happened, so we can't really change it. As for the Wizard of Oz, of course I think it's in the right to forgive the monkeys because they were technically being controlled by the witch, and they later helped Dorothy out by escorting them to the Emerald City. In Mission Impossible, I think it was also a good choice because she later saved them. All right, so let's watch a small video, and here I will I might pause a tiny bit sometimes when the scenes that I'm talking about happened.
Hang on.
Okay, don't look down. Don't look down. Look at me. Look at me. Now, I'm gonna jump across, and you're gonna wait here. Grace, Grace, you have to let go. Grace, you gotta let me go. You gotta let me jump across, or we're gonna die. Do you trust me? You gotta trust me, or not? You gotta trust me. Grace. Okay. Come on, Grace. Give me your hand. You gotta jump. Don't look up. Look at me. Look at me. Trust me. I won't let you fall. I promise. We're almost there. Come on. I won't let you fall. Jump, Grace. Jump. You gotta trust me. Jump, please.
Our lives are the sum of our choices. And we cannot escape the past. Ethan, this mission of yours is gonna cost you dearly.
The world is changing. Truth is vanishing. War is coming.
It's been a long time, friend. You've no idea the power I represent. It knows your story and how it ends.
Listen to me. The world's coming after you.
Yeah, this part is like they have a fight in a very narrow alleyway. Yeah, okay.
His fate is written. Shall we write yours too?
If anything happens to them, there's no place that I won't go to kill you. That is written.
Ethan, what's your objective? What's your ultimate objective?
Your life will always matter more to me than my own.
None of our lives can matter more than this mission.
I don't accept that.
Yep, okay. Small short story. We go here, you see this bicycle clip goes around and then he jumps. So you might think that's like done in a studio, but no. You know, do you guys know who the actor of the main character is?
Nope.
Okay, his name is Tom Cruise, and he does his own stunts. So this motorcycle thing, it was all done in real life, right? He jumped off a cliff on a motorcycle. Of course, it was safe. There was like helicopters around and stuff, but it's not done in a studio. It's not a green screen. It's not special effects. It's all real. Yep. So he did that, and there was even like a trailer for how they were filming this movie. It was like a year or so before they put out trailers about how they would actually do this in real life, and how it was like how they were all built up for it. But you see all this. This is like done in real life, right? There's no special effects, except for maybe the fact that they edited out a few helicopters. All right, so we're gonna be moving on from Mission Impossible. All right, would you guys give Paris a chance? She hunted you down, and you saw in the movie, like the trailer, a bunch of scenes where like they fought, and also like a car chase scene and stuff. So would you give her a chance, or would you have killed her in that alleyway?
Paris 是主要的前期要去杀害这个主角的。
Than the torture but let her live thing, but it's a bit too dark to talk right now.
But you know, if you tortured her, maybe she wouldn't have helped you after.
I would let her live because she was probably like paid to do it and not because she just wanted to do it.
Yeah,
But
that's
when
true.
she saved him, it was because she wanted to do it, not because she was paid to do it.
That's very true. I also think because I think she's a mercenary that she gets paid to do this. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she was paid. So yeah, valid reasoning. All right. So yeah, okay, we're next before we go on to the Greek mythology part, let's talk about death penalty because that in its own aspect is also a sort of second chances because if you get death penalty, you don't get a second chance. For example, you look on the US, like around 20 to like 30 states still have death penalty. And like yeah, if you do like break a major law, then you die, right? You don't get no do-overs.
Alisa?
Are the ones that have color, not like gray or black, like the ones that have colors are the death penalties?
Yeah, there's like labels above them. Like, wait, let me just labels here. It says moratorium on death penalty. So,
Thank you.
yep. So basically what this means is like red is like states with death penalty, states are without death penalty, and gray is like sort of in the middle, you know, like yes, no, maybe. Moratorium is like
我想是不是在加拿大也没有死刑？
yeah, if you look into the picture, this one, it shows which countries saw the death penalty. Of course, all these pictures may be outdated, but not by that much, right? Because I just found these on Google. I'm not really sure what year these are from, and I'm not sure if they changed a lot. So this is like a worldwide scale on which countries still have the death penalty. This one is like calculation top 10 countries by number of executions, and this one is a picture of US.
大家发现了吗？在《哈利波特》里面也没有人是被判处死刑的。
They were all sentenced to
他们
like
只是把他
lifetime in Azkaban or like Dementor's Kiss, but they never really got killed, right? Because stuff like Avada Kedavra is like cursed, so it's like a forbidden spell. So I guess like nobody really wants to use it.
在阿兹卡班这个监狱，罗琳说过他的这个名字是来源于一个真实的监狱，这个监狱的名字叫 Abaddon，就是恶魔岛监狱的意思。然后，但是好像我记得是没有人被判处过死刑，大家都是把他们投放到阿兹卡班监狱。所以说，哈利波特的这个世界里面也是一个没有死刑的世
no
界。
death penalty in Harry Potter. Okay.
他们应该也是希望给这些所有的不管是多坏的人，然后给他们一个机会。我在想，如果说伏地魔被抓住的话，他应该也是会被投放到监狱里面，而不是说直接处死他。
He would probably get the Dementor's kiss, like get his soul sucked out. But okay, let's go on to the question. Does your country or state have death penalty? Like you could look on the US map if you're in the US, and someone else, you can look on the world map, the one with orange. And can you guys tell me whether your country has it? Or just maybe like tell me where you're from and I could just look at it.
No.
Oh, Isabella come from Canada, yeah?
Canada?
Yep.
Yeah.
So Canada, no
death penalty in Canada.
Penalty. Yeah. I come from China.
Yeah, there is, except we're now in the US, so that's good.
Yeah.
We're in Washington, so
the number one.
Yep. China, if you look at China, it has 1,000 plus. I think this is it's in 2019. 1,000 plus executions. In Iran, 251, Saudi Arabia, 184, Iraq, 100 plus, Egypt, 32 plus, US, 22. Like US, not a lot, frankly. Pakistan 14, and so on, so on.
在有一些国家虽然也有死刑，但他们很难判处死刑。比如说像日本，他们有很多的罪都可以判处死刑，但是他们要求，比如说你这种死刑的那个就是非常的漫长，非常的复杂。比如说他需要可以上诉，然后还有最后还需要每一个死刑都需要他们的那个外务首相去签字，也就是说就是外交部长。什么，反正他们一个高官去签字，所以说他们国家到现在为止还羁押了好几百个人在等候死刑，非常有意思，很难判处死刑。
Yeah. For example, let's take Japan. Japan does have death penalty, if you see on this picture here, the orange one. However, Japan's death penalty trials also take a very long time. So they have like a whole process they need to go through. So like right now, there's probably still like 100 people awaiting death penalty, awaiting trial, but they just haven't done it yet.
所以说现代社会都是希望给大家不论多坏的人都希望给他们第二次机会，希望他们能够变成一个好人。但是在古代的时候，所有的逻辑都是完全不同的。Please translate.
Yes. So right now, our society sort of wants everybody to get second chances, to get a chance to be a better person. But back then, like it wasn't the same thing. So, okay, let's recap the Odyssey because that is what the Greek mythology example we will be going off of. If you've been here before, you may have seen this. Well, no, I did this while I was talking about Greek mythology like a year ago, 2 years, some time ago.
2 years.
Yeah, but here's like a small recap. The Odyssey. First of all, the Odyssey is one of the 2 major epics written by Homer, a Greek guy who wrote. The first one was the Iliad, talking about the most eventful parts of the Trojan War.
I didn't hear any of.
Oh, okay. Well, you better turn up your volume. The Odyssey is sort of like a sequel to the Odyssey is a sequel to the Iliad. So after the Iliad or the Trojan War, which took 10 whole years, Odysseus, our main character, starts heading home. Right, so first he encounters the locust eaters, basically like a bunch of people who got illusions while eating lotus, sort of like drugs. And then he went to Polyphemus' island, island with the giant Cyclops, who Odysseus stabbed his eye out. And of course, this is a very important part in the Odyssey. After he stabbed his eye out, he got really proud that he did, and he yelled, "Oh my God! Actually, my name is Odysseus," because before that he fooled a Cyclops that his name was Nobody. I think it was Nobody, because then when the Cyclops was screaming in pain, his friends wouldn't suspect because he would be saying, "Nobody stabbed my eye out," right? That would be sort of like none of his friends would go check up on him because he would just be like, "Oh my God, guys, I'm so safe. Nobody stabbed my eye out." So Odysseus did that. But then when he was leaving, he's like, "Oh my God, my name is not Odysseus. You're so stupid." And he basically started shouting at the Cyclops, the blind Cyclops now. He told him that his name was Odysseus. And there was like a prophecy before his arrival that Odysseus would eventually blind him. However, he expected Odysseus to be a giant and strong man instead of a tiny trickster. So he got really mad and he prayed to Poseidon that either Odysseus never makes it home, or unless the gods must have him go home, he must go home after a long time and find his palace infested with people who hate him, who want to kill him. And that actually turned out to be true because Poseidon heard him. So after that, he didn't really pay any mind to it, but of course, after that, he did go through a lot of stuff that kept him from going home. He went to the Lastrygonians island, who were people-eating giants, and they threw rocks at him, destroying his whole fleet except for his only boat. Then he went to Aeolus, the god of the wind, who actually helped him instead of trying to eat him for once, and gave him a bag of wind that trapped all the other winds except for the wind that blew him home. And just when he was getting home, his men thought he was hiding gold from him. and other treasure. So they opened the wind, which just blew them back. And Aeolus refused to help him again because this disloyalty is a sign that the gods don't want him home. Well, just one god, Poseidon. So then he went to Circe's magic island where his men were turned into pigs. And then Hermes, the god of messengers, helped him to counter this, and they stayed on Circe's island for a full year enjoying the food. After that, he suddenly remembers, oh my god, I need to go home. So he sets sail. He goes through the sirens, which was pretty uneventful because Circe warned him about everything that was to come next. But before he set off, officially leaving, he went to this place. It was like a passage to the underworld where he consulted this priest, and prophet. I think he was a prophet. Yeah. So, but he was dead, so they went to the underworld and summoned him. He then told him to never eat the Helios's cows. And if he didn't, he would go back and he would prosper, right? He would be happy. But if he did, then he would have a hard time, basically something like that. Of course, then he went through some other challenges, and then he got stranded on Helios's island with all the cow. He made his men swear not to eat them because he remembers the prophecy, but after 30 days, no wind picked up, so he couldn't leave, and they started to feel hungry. So he prayed to the gods, and then he fell asleep. But when he woke up, he found out that his men were eating the cattle. He's like, oh my God, what did I tell you? And so they immediately set sail once there was wind, but there was a windstorm which killed all his men, blowing back him to Charybdis and Scylla, and then he got sent to this island and stranded for 7 years before he left. Yep, so basically, if we go back to Polyphemus, what he said was true, right? He would never reach his home, or if he had to, it would take a long time, and he would find his palace infested with people who wanted to kill him, and those were suitors. So after he finally made it home, he found out that those people thought he was dead and tried to marry his wife and tried to kill his son. So now we begin the second half of the Odyssey. Like, you're probably like, oh my God, that was only the first half. Exactly, that was only the first half. So we go on to the main part, how Odysseus kills the suitors. So these suitors, of course, it's mainly just the ringleader, Antonius, who is evil. And there's actually this guy called Amphinomus. He's actually a good suitor. Odysseus went back, of course, he couldn't just reveal himself because they would kill him immediately. He disguised as a beggar. And when he was just sitting outside his own palace while they feasted on his cattle, Amphinomus offered him bread and was actually a very decent guy to him. Odysseus warned him to leave. Amphinomus like, oh, okay, but he didn't leave, so he later got killed. So do you guys think that was right? Because Amphinomus was a good guy. He was a suitor, but he was still a
我
good
想
guy.
他也不能算是一个 good guy，他
Well,
只是没有那么
yeah,
坏而
he
已。
wasn't a really bad guy. He wasn't like really annoying or anything. So do you think Amphinomus would deserve to be killed? Do you guys think Odysseus should have killed him?
That he didn't deserve to be killed, but he also probably should have left and like listened to the person.
Of course, he obviously didn't want to believe old beggar because that's just insane.
其实他不算特别坏，他虽然也和其他的求婚人一样住在他们家里，然后吃他们家的东西，但是他主动的阻止了那些最坏的那两个人去杀害奥德修斯的儿子，特勒马克斯。然后他还在奥德修斯装扮成乞丐回来的时候，然后刚才那个北坤讲过，然后给了他面包，给了他酒，然后安抚了他。他不算是一个特别坏的人，但是，古希腊的这种神话里面，就是无论你是不是做了补救，或者说你是不是一个特别坏的人，只要你做了不对的事情，你都会为此付出代价，你根本就逃不掉。Could you please?
So Amphinomus was actually not that much of a bad guy. When the two leading bad suitors wanted to kill Odysseus' son, Telemachus, he stopped them. And even when Odysseus was dressed as a beggar, he gave him bread and wine and stuff and even comforted him and stopped others from bullying him. But of course, there's like a very irony in this. He was the one who stopped Telemachus from getting killed, but in the end, it was Telemachus who killed him. That's like very irony. And it's like, because right now you see in Harry Potter, Harry stopped Peter from getting killed, just like how Amphinomus stopped Telemachus from getting killed. And then Wormtail was unable to kill Harry, but Telemachus still killed Amphinomus without even hesitating. So I guess that's Greek mythology, because Greek mythology bad guys don't get second chances. But of course, Odysseus killed all the other suitors as well, even after they promised to compromise. So I'm going to read like a part of the Odyssey and excerpt of the suitor's offer. And after you guys listen to the offer, can you guys tell me what you would have done? Right? All right. So after Odysseus shot the main guy, Antinous, the main guy, the second guy spoke. His name is Eurymachus. And Odysseus just revealed it's been 20 years. The trip home took 10 years. The war took 10 years. So like nobody really recognizes him. If you are Odysseus, said he, then what you have said is just. We have done much wrong on your lands and in your house. But Antinous, who was the head and the front of the offending, lies low already. It was all his doing. It was not that he wanted to marry Penelope. Penelope is Odysseus' wife, by the way. He did not so much care about that. What he wanted was something quite different, and Zeus has not vouchsafed it to him. He wanted to kill your son and to be the chief man in Ithaca. Now, therefore, that he has met the death which was his due, spare the lives of your people. We will make everything good among ourselves and pay you in full for all that we have eaten and drunk. Each one of us shall pay you a fine worth 20 oxen, and we will keep on giving you gold and bronze till your heart is softened. Until you have done this, no one can complain of your being enraged against us. So basically what he's offering is 20 cattle, 20 cow, basically to like repay for those years that they feasted in his palace, and gold and bronze until Odysseus is satisfied. Like that's like free retirement fee. He can live off of that. But what would you guys do? Would you take his offer? Will you take Eurymachus's offer of 20 oxen and basically free money until you're satisfied?
我觉得是我的话，我就会接受，因为如果是我的话，我就会接受，因为我觉得他们不是最坏的那群人，他们只是就是随着大溜过来求婚，然后在别人家赖着不走的这种赖皮。既然他们愿意赔偿的话，那为什么还要杀掉他们呢？因为杀掉他们的话，不就得罪了更多的人吗？也没有必要嘛，把他们赶走就可以了。但是奥德修斯是怎么选择的呢？
Wait, does anybody want to talk about like what you guys would have chosen? What would you guys have done?
I don't know.
I would have done like just like say like if you come back in my house or like then I'm gonna kill you. Like at least give them a second chance.
Yeah, so you would give them a second chance, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He thought that dude died.
All right. So there's also some more context which I will talk about, but right now let's watch a small video. I will talk about more of the context because the main question is after this video. So let's watch this video first.
weapons. They're missing. He's using the darkness to hide his approaches. We're empty-handed, up against an archer. Our only chance is to strike him in the darkness. We know these halls, the odds can be tilted. You don't think I know my own palace? I built it.
Right. Okay. Yep. That was basically a short animatic about Odysseus. So for some more context, let's see.
其实这个事情的话，如果说，他不原谅他们的话，然后他后来其实他就是把所有的这些求婚人都杀了，还有对他不忠诚的仆人也杀了，但是就会导致一个非常严重的后果，即使是这个在很古代很古代的这个奥德赛里面也无法回避，就是他们杀完这些人之后，整个地区的人都在跟他作对，就像他去找他的父亲的时候说，他父亲就跟他说你杀了这么多人的话，那整个地区的这些贵族子弟失去了他们的孩子，都会来找你报仇的，那时候你怎么办呢？就是奥德修斯就说没关系，你放心吧，然后我们就是休息一下，吃酒喝肉，但是实际上他根本一点办法都没有，因为嗯。如果说是你得罪了一个人的话，然后还可以解决，但是他得罪了整个地区的那么多的人，他杀掉了那么多的求婚者，然后这些失去了亲人的人肯定会找他报仇。到最后是怎么解决的呢？这个可能北坤可以翻译一下，然后再跟他说。
Right. So before I ask you guys the question if you would forgive the suitors, let's give some context because after he killed the suitors, he went to his father and told him what he did. His father is like, but you killed all the suitors, but their parents, their family are gonna be very mad at you because it's not just the suitors in Ithaca because that's just one country. It's suitors from all around. They're gonna bring their armies and come and fight you. Do you have a plan? And Odysseus like, no, we can drink and we can party. But of course, like such situations are in real life, he would obviously not make it out alive. So what would you guys have done then? Would you have forgiven the suitors and just taken their payment and left? And then you would also be safe, right? Because you won't be killed either. So what would you have done? Considering the fact that if you killed them, then like a whole bunch of people would have come after you.
我想这个问题对大家来说是有一点太残酷了。要不咱们讲一讲奥德修斯的选择，然后再讲一讲后面他是怎么用一种奇特的方式解决这个问题的。
Odysseus, of course, told the suitors because we talked about that, and afterwards, a bunch of people, way more than Odysseus, because he killed off all the suitors and a lot of his servants, except for only the most royal ones, which weren't that much, and he only had like 5 or 6 fighters left, including himself, and there was like 50 people coming to kill him, and just when they were about to fight each other, suddenly from the sky, a lightning bolt, Zeus threw a lightning bolt, and Athena came down and forced them to make peace. Let's ask you guys a question. If you were about to fight the person who killed your family, and then a god said, "Oh no, God, make friends," would you listen? Would you listen to the god?
就好像或者问这么一个问题吧，当那个伏地魔来到这个霍格沃茨门口的时候，然后突然有人跟伏地魔说，你不要再打架了，和霍格沃茨保持这个和平吧。你觉得伏地魔或者是霍格沃茨会同意吗？Could you please translate?
Yeah, or we could just like set this into the Harry Potter example. Imagine you're Voldemort, you're already at the door of the main Hogwarts gate, and then suddenly God comes down and says, "Nope, gotta stop this, make friends, guys, have a truce, make peace." Like, no, nobody's gonna listen to that. But this is a very commonly used mechanic in ancient Greek's scenery, like mythology and what's called theater. Yes, theater and their plays, right? Deus ex machina. It's like when a higher force comes down and instantly resolves all your problems for you. It's like if you put that into modern day, like nobody wants to do that because that's just very boring in stories. But back then it was like really trendy. Almost every play had it. Where the god descends down and saves somebody, or like defeats the enemy, or just forces everybody to make peace. It's like something that just like, wouldn't you guys rather see Odysseus fight off 50 people at once, rather than having like Athena make it's like, nope, good ending, or it's like, they cut off the story with jammed the good ending at the end. But of course, back then it was popular, so can't say anything.
要不要跟大家解释一下这个词？这在希腊戏剧里头是一种很常用的一种手法，叫做机械降神。可能这一点北坤会比我更清楚。
Yeah, Deus Ex Machina. Basically, I just said it though, like a higher force comes down and puts a good ending to the script. Deus Ex Machina.
这是一个专用的词汇。怎么拼呢？Deus Ex Machina Machina 就是这样子的，这叫做机械降神，是非常但是实际的生活当中，比如说像奥德修斯这样的事情，它是
There's no Deus Ex Machina in real life. He would be killed. So don't try this at home.
所以说像这样的古希腊的这种戏剧的逻辑里面，他们就是没有原谅，没有第二次机会。但是在现实的生活中，我觉得有的时候可能古希腊的戏剧的选择，它确实是一种非常戏剧化和非常古代的一种想法，在我们现在生活当中可能是不太通用的。
Yeah, so that was used in by many scriptwrights and plays and back in ancient Greece. So, but now we don't really use it much, I don't think. Maybe some people still use it, but it was very popular back then.
好的，那我们今天的时间也到了。那我们下一节课的话，然后会讲更多的关于哈利波特和希腊神话的一些故事，比如说我们会讲到这些神奇的在哈利波特里面所有那些厉害的女巫，然后她们在这个魔法世界当中的一些神奇故事。我们还会讲到金苹果和老魔杖之间他们是有什么共同之处，还有罗恩他是怎么样成长起来的。我们还有非常非常多包括邓布利多他是怎么样从一个 greater good 的这么一个角色成长为后来的一个非常伟大的、非常无私的一个伟大的魔法师的这么一个一些成长之路吧。然后我们希望能够在后续的课程中见到大家。就 please.
And that's it for today. And next time we will be talking about a lot of other things such as Ron's Odyssey, about witches, fantastic witches, and a greater good of Albus Dumbledore and such. All right. So so we are out of time, but I had this small video. If you guys can leave if you want. If you want to watch this with us, feel free to stay.
That's a full.
It's like 4 minutes. Time is technically up, but if you want to stay and watch, feel free to do so. I'm gonna cut off the recording now.